The war came without warning. No one expected it. For centuries, humans had lived quietly on Earth, watching stars, hoping to find other life. Then the ships appeared, huge and shining, blocking the sky like dark clouds. They were not enemies. At first, the aliens sent messages calling for peace and friendship. But everything changed in one day. In the heart of the biggest city on Earth, a young man named Arin was walking home from work. He was a simple man. Nothing special, just a mechanic who loved fixing old machines. He dreamed of a quiet life, maybe a family someday. But fate had other plans for him. The city's sky suddenly darkened. The air was filled with a strange sound, like a deep rumble from the ships above. People stopped and looked up, fear growing in their eyes. Then loudspeakers across the city blared a single message in many languages. The Judgment Day has arrived. Arin felt his heart beat faster. He didn't understand what Judgment Day meant. But soon, soldiers in strange silver armor appeared in the streets. They were aliens. Their eyes glowed like stars, and their voices were cold and strong. They walked through the city, gathering people quietly but firmly. Arin was grabbed by two of these soldiers. He tried to resist but was weak. They led him to a giant ship hovering above the city. Inside, the walls shone with light, and strange symbols moved across the screens. Arin's mind raced. What was happening? A woman entered the room. She was tall and elegant, with silver hair that shined like the moon. Her eyes were sharp but full of sadness. She spoke softly, but her words shook Arin's world. "You are chosen," she said. "Chosen to end the war and bring peace." Arin blinked. "Chosen me? Why?" She looked at him like he was a mystery to solve. "Because you carry the blood of an old treaty. Your ancestors made a promise to our people long ago. Now the time has come to honor it." Before Arin could ask more, 3 other women entered. Each was beautiful but very different. One had fiery red hair and eyes that burned like fire. The second was calm, with deep blue eyes like the ocean. The third was playful, with bright green eyes that sparkled with mischief. The silver-haired woman continued, "These are the heiresses of the 3 great alien houses. Each demands a bond. You must marry all 3 to stop the war." Arin's mouth went dry. Marry 3 alien princesses. This was impossible. He was just a human, an ordinary man. Why was this happening to him? The alien heiresses watched him silently, their faces unreadable. Then the fiery one stepped forward. "Do not think this is a joke," she said. "Our worlds stand on the edge of destruction. Your answer will decide the fate of millions." Arin swallowed hard. He felt trapped. The war outside was raging, the future dark and uncertain. Could one man really make such a choice? Could he marry 3 alien women and save 2 worlds? His life was no longer his own. He was pulled into a game much bigger than he understood. A game where every move meant survival or death. The weight of the universe pressed down on his shoulders. The silver-haired woman gave him one last look. "Choose wisely, human. Judgment Day is here." Arin stood frozen, his mind racing but empty at the same time. He looked at the 3 alien heiresses. Their eyes were full of expectation. The room was silent except for the low hum of the ship's engines. Outside, he could hear the distant sounds of chaos and war. He wanted to say no. How could he say yes? Marry 3 strangers from another world? Was this some cruel joke? But deep inside, a small voice told him this was real. He had to think fast. The red-haired heiress stepped closer. Her voice was strong and clear. "You don't have much time. The war will only get worse if you refuse. Your people will die. Our people will die." Arin looked at her fire-like eyes. They burned with anger and pain. He could feel the weight of her words like a heavy stone in his chest. The blue-eyed heiress spoke next. Her voice was soft but firm. "We are not here to destroy you. We want peace, but only if the treaty is honored. It was made to protect both our kinds. You are the key." The playful green-eyed heiress smiled faintly. "It's not just about peace. It's about trust. You will learn our ways. You will become part of our worlds. And maybe in time, you will see that we are not so different." Arin's thoughts spun wildly. How could he trust them? How could they trust him? He was a stranger in a world far beyond his understanding. But he knew one thing: the war would not wait for his answer. If he said no, many would die. Suddenly, the ship shuddered. A warning light flashed red. The leader of the soldiers entered quickly. "Sir, our enemies are attacking the ship. They want to stop this alliance." Arin's heart pounded harder. The moment to decide was slipping away. He looked again at the three heiresses, their faces serious but hopeful. He took a deep breath and nodded slowly. "I will do it. I will marry all three." The room filled with a quiet surprise. The red-haired heiress's eyes softened a little. The blue one smiled gently, and the green one's playful grin became real joy. The silver-haired woman stepped forward again. "You have chosen wisely, human, but this is only the beginning. You will be tested. You will face dangers you cannot imagine." Arin swallowed his fear. He felt the heavy weight of his choice. The fate of two worlds rested on his shoulders. He was no longer just a mechanic from Earth. He was now a key part of an ancient plan. The soldiers prepared for battle. The ship's alarms rang louder. Outside, the war raged closer. Arin looked at the three alien heiresses standing by his side. They were his future. They were his new world. The Judgment Day had truly begun. Asterisk shook as enemy fighters fired on its shields. Outside the windows, streaks of light flashed like deadly stars. Arin gripped the edge of a table, trying to steady his racing heart. The war was no longer a distant noise. It was here, close and real. The three heiresses stood beside him, calm but alert. The red-haired one, named Vera, scanned the tactical screens with sharp eyes. "They want to destroy us before the ceremony," she said. "They fear what this union will bring." The blue-eyed heiress, named Sira, placed a steady hand on Arin's shoulder. "We must survive long enough for the treaty to begin. Your role is more important than you know." Arin nodded, still feeling like a man caught in a storm. He wanted to ask questions, but there was no time. The ship's alarm screamed again, signaling another attack. Suddenly, the green-eyed heiress, Lyra, smiled slightly and whispered, "Come with me." She led him through twisting corridors filled with glowing lights and strange machines. Arin felt like he was walking inside a dream. They reached a small room filled with soft light. "This is where you will learn about us," Lyra said. "About our people, our ways, and your future." Arin looked around. Holograms of alien worlds floated in the air, spinning slowly. He saw images of the three alien houses, their history, and the ancient treaty that bound humans and aliens together. "The treaty was made when humans first met our kind," Lyra explained. "It promised peace through unity. But many forgot. The war started because some wanted power, not peace." Arin listened carefully. This was more than just a marriage. It was a chance to save millions of lives. Suddenly, the door hissed open. Vera and Sira entered, their faces serious. "The enemy ships are breaking through," Vera said. "We need your help." Arin's heart jumped. How could he help? He was not a soldier or a fighter. But he knew he could not run away now. Sira nodded at him. "There is a device in the control room. It can boost our shields, but it needs someone to operate it carefully. Will you do it?" Arin swallowed his fear. "Yes, I will try." Together they rushed to the control room. The place was full of strange buttons and glowing panels. Arin's hands trembled as he moved closer to the device. "Follow my instructions," Sira said quietly. "You must focus." Arin did his best, listening to Sarah's calm voice. He pushed buttons, turned knobs, and watched the shield strength meter rise slowly. Outside, the enemy fighters fired again. The ship rocked violently. But the shields held. After what felt like hours, the warning lights dimmed. The enemy ships pulled back, unable to break through. Vera smiled, relief shining in her eyes. "You saved us." Arin felt a strange pride. He was just one man, but his actions made a difference. The Heiresses looked at him with new respect, but there was no time to rest. The war was still raging, and many challenges lay ahead. Arin knew this was only the start of his journey, a journey where he would have to grow stronger, learn faster, and face dangers he never imagined. He looked at Vera, Sarah, and Lyra. They were no longer strangers. They were his allies, his new family. Together, they would fight for peace on Judgment Day. After the battle, the ship floated quietly in space. Arin sat alone in a small room, still feeling the rush of what had just happened. His hands shook slightly. He was not used to this. Fighting, war, alien worlds, everything was new and frightening. Soft knock came at the door. Arin looked up. It was Lyra, the green-eyed heiress. She smiled gently. "You did well today. You saved many lives." Arin tried to smile back but felt tired. "I don't know if I can do this. I'm just a mechanic." Lyra sat beside him. "That is why you are special. You see the world differently. Sometimes the strongest warriors are not those with weapons, but those with courage and heart." Arin looked at her, feeling a little hope. "But the war is still out there. They want to stop the treaty. They want to tear us apart." Lyra nodded. "Yes, but we have something they do not: unity. And you are the symbol of that unity." Just then, the door opened again. Vera and Sarah came in, their faces serious. "We have news," Vera said. "The enemy has captured one of our worlds. They are moving closer to Earth." Arin stood quickly. "What can we do?" Sarah answered, "We must visit the 3 alien houses. You will meet their leaders. They must accept the treaty, and your role is their future leader." Arin felt overwhelmed. "I don't even know their customs. How will I convince them?" Vera's eyes burned with determination. "You will learn, and we will help you." The journey to the alien worlds was long and strange. Each world was different. One was covered in forests and rivers. Another had tall mountains and shining cities. And the last was a desert with endless sands. Arin met with the leaders of the 3 houses. They were proud and strong, but many doubted him. How could a human, a stranger, be their leader? They tested him with questions and challenges. At first, Arin struggled. He felt small in front of their power and wisdom. But he did not give up. He listened carefully, spoke honestly, and showed respect for their cultures. Slowly, some leaders began to see his heart. He was not a weak man. He carried hope for peace and a future where humans and aliens could live together. One night, under the stars on the forest world, Arin sat with Vera. "Do you believe I can do this?" he asked quietly. She looked at him with soft eyes. "I do. You are not just a symbol. You are becoming a leader." Arin felt warmth inside. For the first time, he believed in himself. But danger was near. The enemy was planning a final strike to stop the treaty forever. Arin knew he had to be ready. His journey had only just begun. Arin woke to the sound of alarms ringing through the ship. The soft hum of space was replaced by a harsh, urgent noise. Outside the window, flashes of light showed that the enemy was attacking again. He jumped out of bed. The war was closer than ever. The peace he hoped for was slipping away. Vera, Sarah, and Lyra were already at the control room, focused and calm despite the danger. "We have to stop them from reaching Earth," Vera said. "If they take Earth, everything is lost." Arin nodded. He was ready to help. He wasn't just a mechanic anymore. He was part of something much bigger. The control room buzzed with activity. Alien soldiers and pilots prepared for battle. Arin followed the Heiresses as they worked together to organize the defense. Sira pointed to the screen. They have a new weapon. It can destroy ships quickly. We need to find a way to counter it. Arin thought fast. What if we use their weapon against them? If we can hack into their system, we might turn their weapon off. Lyra's eyes sparkled with hope. That's risky, but it could work. Vera turned to Arin. Can you do it? Arin took a deep breath. I'll try. The ship shook as enemy fire hit the shields again. Arin moved to a console filled with strange buttons and flashing lights. He began typing and working quickly. Trying to hack the enemy's system, the room was tense. Every second counted. The Heiresses stood by him, their eyes full of trust. Suddenly, the screen showed a warning. The enemy detected the hack and started a counterattack. Arin's hands moved faster. Sweat dripped down his face. The system was complex, but he refused to give up. Then, with a loud beep, the enemy's weapon shut down. The attack slowed and stopped. The soldiers cheered. The ship's shields grew stronger. The battle was turning. Vera smiled. You did it, Arin. You saved us all. Arin felt a strange pride. He had faced danger and won. But he knew the war was not over. Later, in a quiet room, the three Heiresses sat with Arin. They spoke of the future, of the treaty, and the promises it held. We will marry soon, Sira said softly. That will seal the bond between our worlds. Arin looked at them. He felt nervous but ready. His life was no longer ordinary. He was part of something greater. The Judgment Day was coming, and he would face it with courage. The day of the ceremony was near. Arin stood in a special room, dressed in clothes he had never seen before. The fabric was soft and shiny, and the colors glowed faintly in the light. He looked at himself in a mirror, hardly recognizing the man who stared back. Vera, Sira, and Lyra entered quietly. They wore beautiful gowns that shimmered like stars. Each looked at Arin with different emotions, pride, hope, and a hint of nervousness. The ceremony would not be easy. It was not just about marriage. It was about joining two very different worlds. Arin felt the weight of that responsibility heavy on his heart. The silver-haired woman who had first chosen him came to him again. Remember, she said, this bond is more than love. It is a promise to protect and unite. Arin nodded. He wanted to be worthy of their trust. As the ceremony began, a sudden alarm echoed through the ship. The enemy was attacking again. Their final strike was coming. Vera's eyes flashed. We must defend the ceremony. If this ends, so does hope. The ship's crew prepared for battle, but Arin had another idea. Let me try something, he said. He moved to the control panel and opened a communication channel. His voice was steady as he spoke. To the enemy forces, this war can end now. The treaty offers peace and alliance. Join us instead of fighting. There was silence. Then, a reply came. The enemy leader's voice was cold but curious. Why should we trust a human and alien alliance? Arin took a deep breath. Because together we are stronger. Because continuing this war will only destroy us all. The enemy leader paused. We will consider your words. The ship's alarms stopped. The threat was still there, but for now, the battle was paused. The ceremony continued, brighter and more hopeful than before. Arin looked at Vera, Sira, and Lyra. They were no longer just alien heiresses. They were his partners, his family, together. They stood strong against the darkness. The Judgment Day was not just a day of war. It was a day of hope. After the ceremony, the ship moved toward Earth's orbit. Arin felt the strange mix of relief and tension inside him. The marriage was done, but the war was not over yet. The three heiresses were by his side, their faces serious. They knew their world still faced many dangers. One evening, As the stars shone outside the ship's windows, Arin sat with Sira. She spoke softly. Now that the treaty is sealed, many will try to break it. There are those who fear change and will fight to stop us. Arin nodded. What can we do? We must show strength and unity. We must build trust with both our peoples. Suddenly, the ship's alarm rang again. This time, the message was from Earth. The planet was under attack by enemy forces that had slipped past defenses. Arin stood quickly. We have to help. Vera's eyes burned with determination. Our alliance is new, but we will fight together. The ship changed course, rushing toward Earth. As they entered the atmosphere, Arin saw cities burning and smoke rising. The battle on Earth was fierce. The enemy was strong, but so was the alliance. Humans and aliens fought side by side. Arin took command of a group of pilots, helping to guide them through the fight. His skills as a mechanic helped him understand the ship's weaknesses and strengths. During the battle, Arin's mind kept returning to the three heiresses. Each had taught him something: courage from Vera, calm from Sira, and hope from Lyra. Their bond was stronger now. Not just marriage, but friendship and trust. After hours of fighting, the enemy began to retreat. The skies cleared slowly. The Alliance had won a hard-fought victory. Arin looked up at the stars, knowing this was only the start. The war might still rage, but now humans and aliens stood together. The Judgment Day was still unfolding. But for the first time, hope shone through the darkness. After the battle, Earth began to heal. Cities rebuilt, and the skies grew clearer. People on both sides looked to the future with cautious hope. But Arin knew the war was not truly over. The enemies who wanted chaos were still out there, hidden in shadows. The three heiresses stayed close to Arin. Together, they worked to unite their peoples. They held meetings, shared stories, and built trust one step at a time. One day, while walking in a garden on the alien ship, Arin asked Lyra, "Do you think peace will last?" She smiled softly. "It will if we keep fighting for it, every day." Vera joined them, her voice strong. "The enemies will try to break us, but we will not let them." Sira looked at Arin with kindness. "You have changed more than you know. You are not just a human now. You are a leader, a symbol of hope." Arin felt a warmth in his chest. The road had been hard, but he was no longer alone. Suddenly the ship's communication screen lit up. An urgent message from the Alien Council appeared. A traitor within their ranks planned to sabotage the treaty and reignite the war. Arin's heart sank. The battle was not just outside but inside their own worlds. The heiresses prepared for a new fight, one that would test their trust and courage in ways they never expected. Arin stood with them, ready to face the coming storm. The Judgment Day was far from over. The warning came suddenly. A secret meeting had been discovered. The traitor was gathering forces to attack the Alliance from within. The Alien Council was divided, unsure who to trust. Fear and suspicion grew like wildfire. Arin stood before the council with the three heiresses beside him. His voice was steady but strong. "If we let fear control us, the war will never end. We must stand united, find the traitor, and protect the treaty." Some council members nodded, others whispered doubts. The traitor's identity was hidden, and the risk was great. Vera spoke with fire. "I will find the traitor. No one will break our bond." Sira added, "We must work together, humans and aliens alike." Arin felt the weight of their words. He was no longer just a man caught between worlds. He was a leader, a protector. The search began. They moved quietly, watching, listening. Every shadow could hide danger. One night, Arin and Lyra found secret messages hidden in the ship's data. The traitor planned to destroy the communication network, the very lifeline of their alliance. They raced to warn the council. The ships. Security was tightened. Arin stood guard, knowing the enemy could be anywhere. The traitor struck when they least expected. Explosions rocked the ship, alarms screamed, and chaos followed. Arin fought through the smoke and fire, searching for the prey. Source. The Heiresses fought beside him, fearless and strong. Finally, they cornered the traitor, a high-ranking alien who had once trusted Arin but chose power over peace. With words and strength, Arin convinced the traitor to stop. The enemy was defeated. Not just by force, but by hope. The ship was damaged, but the Alliance survived. Arin looked at Vera, Sira, and Lyra, feeling a deep bond. They had faced darkness together and stood stronger. The Judgment Day was almost over. The ship drifted quietly after the battle. The damage was serious, but repair teams worked quickly. Outside, stars shone like tiny fires in the dark sky. For the first time in a long while, peace felt close. Arin stood on the ship's deck with Vera, Sira, and Lyra. Their hands were joined, a circle of strength and hope. The weight of their journey lay heavy, but so did the promise of a new beginning. Alien Council had accepted the treaty fully. Earth's leaders had joined hands with alien worlds. The war that had threatened both their futures was ending. Arin looked at the three Heiresses, his partners in this fight and in life. "We have come far," he said softly. "But this is just the start." Vera smiled, her fire-like eyes shining. "We will protect this peace with all we have," Sira nodded. "We will build a future together where humans and aliens are no longer strangers." Lyra laughed gently. "And maybe one day our children will not know war at all." Arin felt hope growing inside him. He was no longer the simple mechanic from Earth. He was a symbol that two very different worlds could come together and change fate. The Judgment Day had tested him, shaped him, and changed the course of history. As the ship sailed toward Earth, Arin knew one truth above all. Sometimes, the greatest battles are won not with weapons, but with courage, trust, and love. The future was theirs to build.